You also know, guys, it's Houston Sports Type back in the video today. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos in Thursday Night Football 19-8. Weird score with the 19-8 score. I mean, one of the big reasons why is, Chiefs were settling for field goals all night. 4 field goals, 2 50-plus yard field goals for Harrison Butker with a 52-yard field goal kick in the fourth quarter. And then going into the third quarter, a 60-yard kick, which it's not even a career high for Harrison Butker, as his career high, I believe, is 62, which was a kick that he made last season in Arrowhead. And he had 4 field goals on the night. And I would say, you would think Patrick Mahomes, I guess you could say he probably was the player of the game for the Kansas City Chiefs. Knocked in a 60-yard field goal, 52-yard field goal, knocked in 4 total field goals, knocked in an extra point. I would say Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are up there with Harrison Butker. But let's go over the scoring summary. Before I do that, the Broncos, it's time to give up. You're 1-5. Trade everybody. Trade away Frank Clark. Trade away Garrett Bowles. Trade away Kareem Jackson, trade away one of Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton. Personally, I would say you keep one of those guys. Honestly, I say you trade away Jerry Jeudy and then you keep Cortland Sutton. But with the recent comments from Steve Smith Jr., who knows if Jerry Jeudy's going to even have this, the value that he had before. And also a team that was very interested in Jerry Jeudy, a team that was very interested in trading for Jerry Jeudy before was the Carolina Panthers. And the Carolina Panthers is where Steve Smith Jr. played, and they have a lot of respect for him. And not only that, but he's not officially a part of their organization, but you do see him come around every once in a while. And I don't know. I'm not gonna say the Panthers don't want Jerry Jeudy anymore. But I would be surprised if you see the Panthers not trade for Jerry Jeudy. But I say you trade one of Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy. I think it's just depending on what value you get for one of those guys. I think who can you get the better value for? Honestly, wouldn't surprise me if you can get Cortland Sutton. More for Cortland Sutton than you could for Jerry Jeudy. But I think you have to keep one of them. And I think you keep whoever has less value in the trade market. You're 1-5. Your season's over. And who knows what's happening? Is Sean Payton going to come back next year? Is this going to be a one and done for Sean Payton? I just don't feel like you can fire Sean Payton after having to send a draft pick to New Orleans. Was it a second or a third round pick that you had to send to New Orleans for Sean Payton? And not only that, but him being a good coach. He's not made the best coaches' decisions when it's come to this team, but I feel like a lot of their problems right now is came to the team and quarterback play as well. And now Denver's 1-5, and they've lost 16 straight games to the Denver Broncos. So, yeah. All right, let's go over the scoring summary. Harrison Butker in the first quarter was the only score in the first quarter was a 35-yard field goal, and it's 3-0 for the Chiefs. And then after that first, field goal drive for the Chiefs, there was not a lot of offense in this game. Denver was terrible on offense. Kansas City was terrible on offense. And up until the last couple of drives for the Chiefs in the second quarter, Patrick Mahomes throws a 3-yard touchdown pass to Kadarius Toney. Extra point is good. It's 10-0. And then if 13 seconds was enough time for Patrick Mahomes to get a field goal, 15 seconds is enough time as well. Mahomes goes on a 3-play, 19-yard drive to get Harrison Butker in formation for a 60-yard field goal kick, and it's 13-0 going into halftime. Then the only score in the third quarter is a Harrison Butker 25-yard field goal, and it's 16-0. And then fourth quarter, Broncos with 6 minutes remaining finally put points on the board when Russell throws an 11-yard touchdown pass to Cortland Sutton. Javonte Williams runs it up for the 2-point conversion. It's now a one-possession ball game. It's 6-18. But Denver's defense needs to get a stop. And they were getting stops earlier in the ball game, but when it's a stop to potentially put yourselves in, potential formation to tie the ball game up, you're not going to get a stop, especially with Patrick Mahomes with the football. And Harrison Butker knocks in a 52-yard field goal, and it's 19-18. Ultimately, the Broncos turned the ball over on their next drive, and the Chiefs win this one 19-8. All right, game leaders: Russell Wilson, 13 for 22, 95 passing yards, and one touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Terrible performance from Russ. Yeah, just terrible. Patrick Mahomes, 30 for 40, 206 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. Man, his interceptions are high this year. He threw an interception. He threw 2 interceptions tonight, but one of them was called back on a defensive pass interference. But Mahomes' interceptions have gone. He's been throwing a lot of interceptions, and he's thrown 2 interceptions this year where there's been flags on the defense, and I think that was his 6th or 7th interception thrown on the year, and that's not including the non-interceptions with the penalties. Rushing yards: Javonte Williams, 10 carries, 52 rushing yards. Isaiah Pacheco, 16 carries, 62 rushing yards. Receiving yards: Courtland Sutton, 4 receptions for 46 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. And receiving yards: Travis Kelce, 9 receptions, 124 receiving yards. Do you notice something? It's been about 3 or 4 minutes since I've been doing this video. Maybe I have no sense of time, and I have not brought up Taylor Swift one time. Oh, oops. Until then, Taylor Swift was at the ball game tonight for Travis Kelce. Hey, I'll say, maybe Taylor needs to be at his games more often. I have Travis in fantasy. Was not mad at all about his performance today. 9 receptions, 124 receiving yards, gave me 21.4 points on fantasy. So I know he could be better. 1 touchdown would have been a great performance from Travis. Would have been about 30 points. But Taylor was bringing him some good luck tonight. But that's all I'll say of Taylor Swift. Okay. Getting into some other stats. Kadarius Toney did throw 1 pass, but it was incomplete. Other rushing yards: Russell Wilson ran for 31 rushing yards. Jaleel McLaughlin ran for 7 carries and 30 rushing yards. Patrick Mahomes ran for 31 rushing yards. So both quarterbacks ran for 31 yards. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 2 carries for 7 yards. Other stats for the Chiefs receiving: Rashee Rice, rookie. Really like this kid. I know the Chiefs wide receiver group is not strong, but I really like him. He had 4 receptions for 72 receiving yards. Isaiah Pacheco had 6 receptions for 36 receiving yards. Sky Moore had 2 receptions for 22 receiving yards. Jerick McKinnon had 3 receptions for 20 receiving yards. Besides Courtland Sutton, Samaje Perine had 2 receptions for 16 receiving yards. And apparently Steve Smith Jr. got into Jerry Jeudy's head because he only had 3 receptions for 14 receiving yards and was targeted 5 times. All right, fumbles. The fumble that lost them this game: Samaje Perine lost a fumble, and it was recovered by Willie Gay, and that is, or I think it was recovered by Montreal Washington, and that gives them the win. So yeah, great performance from the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to go over some of the tackles as well. Leader in tackles, defensive tackle stats: Broncos, Alex Singleton, 11 tackles. Broncos for the Chiefs, Willie Gay, 6 tackles. Broncos, 2 sacks, 1 sack for Jonathan Cooper, 1 sack for Zach Allen. They had 7 tackles for loss. Jaquan McKillen had 3 tackles for loss. All right, Chiefs, 4 sacks, 1 sack for Chris Jones, 1 sack for Drew Tranquil, half a sack for George Karlaftis, half a sack for Malik Herring, and 1 sack for Justin Reed, and that was it. They had 5 tackles for loss. Interceptions: Justin Reed, not only did he have a sack, but he also had an interception, which he returned for 11 yards. Nick Bolton also had an interception, which he returned for 1 yard. And Justin Simmons had an interception for the Broncos, which he returned for 6 yards. And that was it for this ball game. So a low-scoring game, only 27 points on the board for both teams between two divisional teams, where the Chiefs to get the win. And this is their 16th straight win over the Denver Broncos. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoy their thoughts, and peace out.